Well, let's begin tonight with a major story in the land which might disrupt your day wherever you may be across Nigeria. Nigeria's largest oil and gas workers union, PENGASSAN, has declared a nationwide strike against Dangote refinery, accusing Africa's biggest industrial project of violating labor laws and international conventions. The union has alleged more than 800 Nigerian workers were dismissed for joining the association and replaced with foreign staff. The action, which includes a nationwide shutdown of oil and gas operations, has raised serious questions about labor rights, national sovereignty, and the government's role in resolving the dispute. A major labor showdown is going to be rocking the Africa's largest refinery. From gas supplies to refinery operations, the strike threatens to disrupt the nation's energy sector and would test how far Nigeria is willing to go to protect its workers. Meanwhile, Dangote refinery is pushing back strongly against the allegations by Nigeria's Oil Workers Union. In a statement by the refinery has dismissed PENGASSAN's claims as lies and terror tactics, accusing the union of spreading misinformation to disrupt operations. Dangote insists it has acted within the law and rejects allegations of mass sackings or anti-labor practices. The company warns the strike could harm Nigeria's economy and energy stability, even as the government faces calls to intervene in the escalating dispute. Where the federal government and the Ministry of Labor is saying that these can be resolved amicably for the sake of the nation's economy. Let's speak with the leader of PENGASSAN, the president of PENGASSAN, who is also the president of TUC, Comrade Festus Osifo, is live for us on the program tonight. Comrade, thank you so much indeed for joining us on the program.
Shehu, thank you so much. Good evening to you and good evening to Nigerians.
Let me begin by asking you, don't you think that these planned nationwide industrial action that you have decided upon by you and your colleague could be described as a sabotage on the economy and also hurt not only the economy, commerce and trade, but also national productivity?
Shehu, thank you so much. Thank you for having me in this program this evening. First, before I go into your question, I wish to clearly state, first of all, that what PENGASSAN has stood for over the years. As an association, we pride ourselves that we are the people behind the numbers that you see of the crude oil production on a daily basis. That we are the people that are literally carrying the Nigeria economy in our back. And this has been like that for over 60 years. The traction you've seen in the oil and gas industry today is actually because of what PENGASSAN has stood for over the years. So it may interest you to know that the oil and gas industry today is one industry that employ the best and brightest Nigerians across board. In fact, if you go to Shell, you have over 200 first-class graduates, both Nigeria and abroad. Most of them are PENGASSAN members. If you go to Total Energies, you have over 100 first-class graduates taught across board. So the same thing you have across the industry. So these are people that are intelligent. These are people that are knowledgeable. These are people that clearly understand the industry, from accounting to law to geology and all that. And it may interest you to also know, Shehu, and for your viewers to also know, that the current chairman of NNPC Limited was once a PENGASSAN official, Engineer Musa Kida. The immediate past GCEO of NNPC Limited, Kiari, was the PENGASSAN leader in Nigeria. In fact, he contested for PENGASSAN president in 1998 and only lost by 2 votes. So these are people that have contributed to the growth of this industry. In fact, the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, was a PENGASSAN member. So that clearly shows that we are responsible people. That clearly shows that we are people that clearly understand how the economy works. So coming down to your question, Sheung, you know, to in engineering, I mean, every cause there is an effect, right? To every action, there is a reaction to any action, according to Newton's law. It's very clear and it's very simple, Sheung. 2 weeks ago, people subscribed to join PENGASSAN freely on their own. They subscribed, they filled forms that I want to be member of this association. In accordance with the Nigeria Constitution, Section 40, that describes freedom of association. So they filled form. They joined. So after doing that, we now did a review. Close to 1,000 people filled forms to join PENGASSAN. Then immediately we got that, we did a review and we now said, okay, no problem, you can come in, we will accept you. We wrote a letter on Monday to Dangote, on Monday, just the week that finished now. We wrote a letter to Dangote, informing Dangote on Monday 22nd of September that these are the number of people that said they want to join us. Please, according to the law, deduct their checkup dues. That's what the law requires. The Trade Union Act is very clear. These are laws of Nigeria. Deduct the checkup dues. Once you deduct the checkup dues, please remit to us as prescribed in the law. And secondly, as well, these are the executives. These are the executives that will be leading on a temporary basis until we conduct a substantive election to have executive in Dangote refinery. Mind you, these people are engineers, they are accountants, they are people that are graduates. Minimum is first degree. Some of them will have PhDs. So after that, what now happened? On Tuesday, after we submitted that on Monday to Dangote, on Tuesday, he brought his team. They started going from department to department. They started going from unit to unit to verify our list. Calling all these people, are you PENGASSAN members? Did you subscribe to PENGASSAN? Everybody answered in affirmative that yes, that we have subscribed to be a member of PENGASSAN and that we are exercising our freedom and our right to unionism and our right to collective bargaining agreement. So now, after this happened on Tuesday, 23rd, it happened on Wednesday, on the 24th of September. Then immediately after that, what Dangote now did was that he came and he now issued a mass sack letter to all of them on Thursday. Sheung, this is not a banana republic, Sheung. Sheung, this is not done. So if the Nigerian economy is suffering today, Dangote should be held responsible. Because this is not how to act. Sheung, let me quickly draw your attention. Dangote said he invested $20 billion in the refinery, Sheung. Sheung, I work for Total Energies. I've been in upstream of oil and gas for 20 years upward. Sheung, the amount of money that Dangote has invested in the refinery is less than 10% of the money that Total Energies, ExxonMobil have invested in Nigeria. It's less than 10%. So we've done the economics. The amount of money Dangote has invested in Nigeria is less than 5% of the amount of money Shell invested in Nigeria or Chevron invested in Nigeria. So, but there is PENGASSAN there is NUPENG there. We work collaboratively. PENGASSAN and NUPENG has been in this institution for over 40 years, since PENGASSAN was founded in 1978. And we have worked with them to the growth of this organization. That today, so when PENGASSAN joined Total Energies, for example, the production maybe was less than 20,000, but today Total Energy produces over 300,000 barrels per day due to the effort and the value that we have brought to the table. So, Sheung, the question today is that who is really sabotaging Nigeria? Is it the person that woke up on a particular day and sent a single letter to terminate all the Nigerians working in his refinery and bring in Indians to work here in Nigeria? Sheung, this is 2025. This is not how to act. Dangote should go and understand the oil and gas industry and understand how it functions. He has been in other industry, but clearly he doesn't understand how this industry works. So PENGASSAN and NUPENG is entrenched everywhere. And we are responsible for the oil and gas production in Nigeria since inception.
Mr. Osifo, let me jump in quickly. If you look, and I want the producer, please, it's important, be fast with me, please, those who are putting up those slides, please. Put on the PENGASSAN statement where you're asking all your staff to withdraw their services. This was from your yesterday meeting, your NEC meeting from yesterday. And you said effective from today, it means that from Monday, you are asking Nigerians to, well, I wouldn't say Nigerians don't care what you and Dangote, your conversations are. But the bottom line here is that we know the economics of oil and gas in Nigeria. One day disruption can trigger weeks of scarcity. What Nigerians are going to be feeling from tomorrow morning, those who, innocent people who rely on public transport, on fueling their gas into their vehicle, what they will be expecting tomorrow is a shutdown. Basically, that there will be hardship in the land, scarcity in the land. People are going to be on the street again in the rain. That is what Nigerians are going to be experiencing. This a lot of people will think it's unfair.
Sheon, your position is not correct on this. I'm sorry, it's not correct. Sheon, PENGASSAN, we operate largely in the upstream sector of the Nigerian oil and gas industries. All right? So, as of today, in the same Dangote refinery and across the tank farms, there is over 30 days sufficiency of PMS distribution. So, there is no disruption that is going to affect that, all right? So if Dangote decides, for example, not to supply PMS to the people, PENGASSAN, we don't have tanker drivers. We don't work in, our job is at the sophisticated engineering jobs, all right? So it is not our responsibility to move products from Dangote refinery to the fuel station. No, that is not our responsibility. So
are you saying that your strike is of no consequence? If you go on strike, everything will go on as normal.
No. It depends on where it's going to affect.
So when you say my position is incorrect, just a moment, sir. Just a moment, sir. When you say my position is not correct, you make it look as though that I'm misinforming Nigerians as to the importance of you and you have thousands of staff and members of PENGASSAN. There is an effect, a big effect on your role in the oil and gas chain. That's the point I'm making. It's going to affect the bottom line, whether or not you have tankers or not, but you are a critical factor in the chain.
That's correct, Shehu. That's correct. So I want us to disaggregate what the effect would be. So that is actually my point. So that the effect as of today, as of tomorrow, even by next weekend, is not going to dovetail to Nigerian queuing to buy PMS. That is what I was trying to explain. It won't dovetail to that. The effect of what we are doing today, yes, as we speak today, currently, we have caught supply of gas to the refinery, so the fertilizers and all that. Yes, we've done that because if someone said he's mad and he's crazy, we will tell him that we are the good that lay the golden eggs and that we are even much more crazier because it is not correct. The Nigerian government, they must be able to rein in on Dangote. The Nigerian government must be able to call him to order, to let him understand that this is not a banana republic. These are nations governed by laws. These are nations governed by rules. No matter how wealthy an individual is, he cannot, sit down and break the law of the nation. President Tinubu is following the laws of Nigeria as the president of Nigeria. He doesn't wake up on a daily basis and just break the... Tinubu can wake up tomorrow and sack the entire civil servant, but he will not do it because he's extremely responsible. So that is the point. The point is that we have rules in Nigeria, we have laws in Nigeria, we have constitution in Nigeria, and these rules and these laws must be clearly obeyed and must be clearly followed. Shehu, think of the 800 plus people that you just go to work and you were locked out immediately without prior notice. Shehu, I think Dangote is the cause of all this. All attention should point to Dangote.
let's get it
Yes,
clear, comrade.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
correct me if I'm wrong. The update or the situation of things in Dangote as we have it. Dangote refinery plant 100% shut down. The Dangote fertilizer plant, the train 2, 100% shut down. And train 1 is working at 60%. The diesel plant, is the diesel plant shut down? Is the update as and the facility, as I stated here, is it correct or not?
Yes, it's correct. You are very correct, Shehu.
Now, give us an understanding, because Dangote's side of the story, as published in a statement, they say that you and your colleague are lying, that you are employing terrorist attacks, tactics in your manner of approach. In fact, they say this is intimidation gone too far, the disruption of operation, they target economic sabotage, and they describe your activities as terrorism. That is how Dangote has described it. And they say that what you are spreading to Nigeria is falsehood and misleading the public. But why would you do such a thing, you and your colleague at PENGASSAN? Comrade.
Shehu, on Monday, tomorrow is Monday. Send your camera to the gate of Dangote refineries. You are going to see over 100 staff, sorry, over 800 staff of Dangote refinery that are locked outside. What is more treasonable than that?
Dangote said that whatever you are saying is wrong, that they did not do what you have accused them of doing.
I'm telling you, Shehu, tomorrow morning. So don't take my word, don't take Dangote's word. You are investigative journalist. In fact, you are one of the brightest journalists we have in this country. You can really say Sub-Saharan Africa. Tomorrow morning, send your cameraman to Dangote refinery, please. So when you send your cameraman, I have some clips after this program I will send to you of the people that Dangote locked outside. But tomorrow morning, don't take my word for it. Don't even believe the video I will send to you after now. Don't believe it. Just send your cameraman to Dangote refinery. You are going to see close to 1,000 Nigerians that are locked outside. So by then, you will invite Dangote as you have invited me now to your studio, and let Dangote come and explain to Nigerians. Listen, Cheung and our viewers, these people, they have families. These people, they have children. These people, I mean, the school just resumed. They have to pay their children's school fees. They have to put food on the table of their... So what offense have they committed? Because they have exercised their freedom to unionism. There is union in Chevron. There is union in Shell. There is union in ExxonMobil. These people, what they have invested in Nigeria, what Dangote has invested is less than 10% of what they have invested in Nigeria since 1962. So quickly, please take your camera there tomorrow.
Let me say this to you, because the part where I asked you the question as to how Dangote sees this situation, he sees this as a terror attack on the nation's economy, as a sabotage. And I remember the military head of state and the military dictator, General Sani Abacha, in his speech, this was when MK Abiola declared himself the president, the winner of that election. It was around the same time that PENGASSAN and Peng, I mean, it's just so sharp in my memory how the military dictator at the time, in his military uniform, on the national television, on the NTA at the time, declared Nupeng and PENGASSAN action as illegal, disbanded the association's leadership, and says that they cannot do what they did, similar to what we are having. Are you worried that such a treatment can be melted on the association if it's seen as a sabotage on the economy, an economy that is trying to get back on stream after some kind of disruptions and economic problems that we have experienced in the past few months?
Shehu, the position, the people that fought that struggle then, they were given national award later on, 30 years later. The people that led that struggle then, they were not just given national awards, some were given posthumous award. Then the struggle that was led as a then, the agitation as a then, MK Abiola was pronounced as the Nigeria president that was never sworn in. So that has even vindicated PENGASSAN. That has even clearly shown that PENGASSAN, we are intellectuals. We are not rascals. We are knowledgeable people. We are people that understand how
So you are not worried about a government
clamp
down in the case of a possible economic sabotage being tagged or seen into all of this?
The person that is sabotaging Nigeria economy is Aliko Dangote. Aliko Dangote is whom he is today because of Nigeria. Nigeria gave him a license to import flour, single license. Nigeria gave him single license to import sugar, single license to import salt. The refinery that Dangote built is our money. With the Nigeria government subsidized it first for him to build that refinery, and some of the funds that they gave to him found itself in Uganda. Find itself, he was using Nigeria money to be building what he was building in another part of the world. So the person sabotaging Nigeria economy is Aliko Dangote and his co-travelers.
Why does it seem like the fear some people around Aliko Dangote is as to the effect of some of the things you have said tonight, that PENGASSAN and NUPENG and the likes are being sponsored and used by the enemies of Dangote to sabotage the refinery and make the biggest investor and the biggest employer in the private sector in Nigeria look bad? Whereas the man says is into an economic disruption for good, economic reforms for good of the nation. And the fact that you and your friends want the status quo to remain, that this is now a new dawn, a new era in economic development of our nation. What does it look like? You are speaking in the language of the enemies of Dangote, and they said this is just a sponsored attack on the man.
For us in PENGASSAN, we are focused. We don't listen to those side talk. Those that I call those ones side talk that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any meaning. So for us in PENGASSAN, we are extremely focused. PENGASSAN today exists in about 200 companies in Nigeria. PENGASSAN exists in about 200 oil and gas companies in Nigeria. We have contributed to the growth of the Nigeria economy. We are the people that are behind the numbers of the GDP. We are the people that are behind even the foreign exchange earning that we have made in Nigeria over the years. Even the foreign exchange earning that Dangote used in building refineries, it is the oil and gas workers. So, we are not distracted. Those are noise. Dangote is just making noise. The real issue he knows. If Dangote today, if he called back those people that he has terminated today, I can tell you, normalcy will be reinstated in the next less than 1 hour. So every cause, there is an effect. So the fact is this, if Dangote did not go ahead to sack Nigerians, I think you must have seen the letter. I think you should interrogate Dangote because he's the one that should be interrogated. He's the one sabotaging the Nigeria economy. He's the greatest saboteur of the time. He's the greatest saboteur of the moment. So Dangote should be interrogated. He should be the one that should be cross-examining. Why will you just wake up? Because people opted to join union that exists everywhere in the industry. So you are now doing what you are doing. Ask him those questions, those pertinent questions. He needs to answer them.
I'd like us to conclude this conversation. My major fear is the action of every individual, even the #1 citizen of this country. His actions should be inspired by nationalism and the interests of the average person and the interest of the nation. And I'm imagining that this is a private interest. No matter what Dangote has done wrong, the single act of shutting down oil or gas supply, don't you think is far too far, is taken too far? And the fact that you look at these some kind of brigandage on the Nigerian economy, and you think that the government of the day should fold his arms and look at what is going to hurt the economy, and that this could be is a private entity which could be taken to court for, if you term is that anti-labor act or labor law actions against its staff, rather than having the nation be on its knees because unions are fighting Dangote. 1 out of the thousands or millions of private investments in Nigeria. So if unions are acting against every private investment in Nigeria, we will not have a country to call a nation any longer.
So what you should ask yourself is that why are unions not acting against the other private investments in Nigeria? I have worked all my life If I have never worked for government, all right? All my life, I have worked for a multinational private company, all right? So this company, like I told you, so why is it that they are not perpetuating the same thing that Dangote is perpetuating? Why is it that Shell, they are not perpetuating the same thing? Why is it that ExxonMobil, they are not perpetuating the same thing? That is a question that you should refer to Dangote. So clearly, from the letter that you saw, what is written in that letter, Sheon, is very clear. We are cutting supply to Dangote. All right. Then our members are withdrawing their service. So we are not shutting down any other platform. All right. Except when we have safety concerns. Okay. So clearly today, what we are doing as people is that some of our members are locked outside. And the way union works all over the world, Sheon, it is not peculiar to Nigeria. When we say injury to one, injury to all. So when you shut one down, you shut all down. That is how it works. Okay. Because our members working in other companies in Nigeria, they also said from the NEC meeting yesterday, all the chairmen were represented. They said, no, we in this condition, our members cannot be outside the Dangote and you expect us to go to work. That we will not also be able to go to work. So that is actually where we are today. So I think
the only way out for you and the union is that Dangote should recall those staff. If not, solidarity forever.
Absolutely, Shehu. Yes, we've been called for a meeting tomorrow in the Federal Ministry of Labor. We are going to attend that meeting. And our position is very clear. You cannot send close to 1,000 Nigerians away to the street like that because they are exercising their right to be unionized. And they are exercising their right to a collective bargaining conversation. Those are laws, both local and also subscribed to by the ILO convention. The president of Nigeria should call Dangote to order. Dangote is not bigger than Nigeria. Thank you.
Festus Osifo has two legs in the administration of unions, one serving as the president of PENGASSAN and the other serving as the president of the Trade Union Congress. Thank you so much, comrade, for talking to us tonight. For the interest of our nation, solidarity forever. Please have mercy on Dangote and let us resolve this amicable for the interest of our nation. Because
solidarity forever.
Sometimes it's difficult to do business in this country, and the business atmosphere needs to be eased so that Nigerians can be encouraged to do business. But this kind of thing could discourage people. But I know that things will be resolved. Thank you so much indeed. Comrade Festus.
There are multinational oil and gas industry in Nigeria that are doing business and they are doing very well. Dangote should go and emulate them. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.